Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 5th grade concept of recognizing additive and multiplicative patterns. This is standard 5.4D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 33 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have a table here, and there's a relationship between x and y. Our job is to figure out, is it additive or is it multiplicative? So additive means we are adding something. Multiplicative means we are multiplying something. So let's see if we could change these descriptions in A, B, C, and D into equations and see if we can figure out which of these equations matches this table that we have working here. So A says the relationship between the x values and the y values creates an additive pattern because each x value increases by 5. Okay, so typically what we're doing is we are looking side to side here, but this is kind of an interesting problem here. Instead of going from x to y, it simply says each x value increases by 5. So in A, we're not even looking at y. We're literally just going down, and we are looking at plus 5. Okay, so 5 plus 5 makes 10. 10 plus 5 makes 15. 15 plus 20, sure, that's all plus 5. But what about some missing numbers? If we wanted to put this on a graph and we kind of made this like a straight line like this, well, you might have your 5 and you might have your 10. But what about missing numbers like 6 or 7 or 8? This is a strange one. We can't even make this an equation because it doesn't mention y. So this has no y value right here. X has nothing to do with y. So we can't even use this to find the relationship between x and y because look at A, it doesn't even talk about y. X is the only value that it discusses. So it's not going to be A because it doesn't look side to side between the x and the y. Let's look at B. B says it's additive because each y value is determined by adding 17 to the corresponding x value. Okay, so we can do this. So each y value, so I'm going to write this is going to be our B, and we're going to say y is determined by, so this is equal, adding 17 to the corresponding x. So adding 17. All right, so we will just say 17 plus x. All right, so we can use substitution here to see if this works. So let's try this first pair right here. So our y is 22. So can we say 22 equals 17 plus, and our x is 5? Yeah, that looks good. Usually the first one looks good. Let's check the second one. What about 27 as our y? And it's 17 plus x. Our x is 10. Yeah, that's looking pretty good as well. Let's try one more. 32 equals 17 plus 15. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm thinking this is an additive pattern, so definitely thinking it's B, but we got to eliminate C and D. Multiplicative because each y value is determined by multiplying the corresponding x value by 17. Ooh, no, that's not going to work. That's what this would look like. Y value is determined, it means equals, multiplying x by 17, so 17x. So that means 22 equals 17 by x, which is 5. No, that is not correct. That's 85. So that is incorrect right there. And then D, multiplicative because each x value is a multiple of 5. Well, this kind of looks just like A. It only talks about the x value, doesn't talk about the y value. Yes, they are multiples of 5. That doesn't mean anything. So our answer is B.